Ammon Bundy, wanting to talk to you a little bit about what's happening in Nevada, a little bit about AB408, which was killed on the assembly floor 2 days ago. Wanted to ask a question and then try to emphasize a certain point about that question. Do Nevada legislatures support the federal takeover of Nevada's water rights, or are they just ignorant to the fact that the waters are being stolen from the Nevada people? 2 days ago, in a late Assembly floor session, Assemblyman Jim Wheeler stood in testimony against AB408. AB408 would have made it illegal for the federal government to own water rights in Nevada. Jim Wheeler testified that AB408 was messing with Nevada water laws and that the water was too sacred in Nevada to be doing this. So this question is in order. If legislatures such as Jim Wheeler, Robin Titus, and Chris Edwards, who are supposed to be conservative, are concerned about Nevada water, then why do they assist the federal government in stealing thousands of water rights away from the people of Nevada? To help bring some light to this bloody massacre of individual water rights in the West, let me explain. The Nevada Division of Water Resources maintains a water registry where all the deeds to Nevada water rights are listed. You can view the actual deed online, see who originally established them, and see who owns them now. Most water rights are created by our pioneer forefathers who established these rights by being the first to beneficially use the water. In 1880, the state of Nevada created the Water Rights Registry and made it possible for our pioneers to file their rights with the state. Nevada's laws, and most other states for that matter, specify that in order to retain water rights, you have to prove that you are putting the water to beneficial use, that you're using it. If you fail to use them, someone else may prove beneficial use, and the right can become theirs. This good law keeps an individual or a corporation from hoarding water and not allowing people to benefit from it. So this is where our federal government in sheep's clothing comes in. Knowing that water is a limited resource and one that will warrant wealth and power, especially in the future, and desiring that power for themselves, our federal government began a campaign against the citizens of the western states to steal away their water rights, and other resources for that matter. But when it comes to water, all they have to do to accomplish this is get that owner of the water rights to stop using them. Once the owner stops using them, then they can file up on the right and make it theirs. You may be asking yourself, has this really ever happened? Well, in Nevada alone, the BLM has done this 2,715 times. The U.S. Forest Service has done it 2,313 times. The Department of Interior has done it 26 times, and the National Park Service has done it 14 times. Those four federal entities in total have stolen 5,068 water rights from individuals in Nevada alone. With self-appointed power to regulate people off the lands, these federal agencies restrict ranchers, miners, loggers, and other land users from using the land and subsequently the water. In some cases, the federal agencies have later leased or rented the water and other rights back to the very families from whom they stole them from, making the family pay a fee to use what these federal agencies claim as their own, their right. In other cases, the agencies have forced the water right owners to give up claim of the water in order to continue to use the land. There are several other adverse ways in which these agencies have manipulated the resources away from the families. These families that established these rights through hard work and much suffering many, many years ago. Time will not allow me to explain all of them. Needless to say, our federal government is in business for themselves and not for the people. You may recall a year ago I was tasered 3 times. Around 34 over-aggressive federal agents in 13 armed vehicles were escorting a BLM dump truck pulling a backhoe. They had just come off the mountain range on the Bundy Ranch. These federal agents were trying to keep the protesters from seeing what was inside the dump truck. Coming from behind, I sacrificed my ATV by driving in front of the dump truck. After the initial crunch, I calmly stepped off and inquired about what they were doing in our mountains with that backhoe. My answer came in the form of an attack dog and a 50,000 volt double barbed shock of my life. 3 times in a row. Since the answer did not give me much clarification, I crawled upon the dump truck to see for myself. What I saw was even more shocking to me than the taser. I saw pipes, concrete, and cut-up water tanks that had been ripped out of the mountain. These were part of a water infrastructure that my family and other ranchers had established in those lands over 100 years ago. As you may have put together, the feds are after my father's water rights. He owns 11 of them. They are deeded to him and filed in the state registry. If the feds could remove the cattle, which they tried, killing around 60 head, then destroy any way to use the waters, this would make it impossible for my dad to claim beneficial use. After that, all the feds would need to do is claim those waters for themselves, the same way they stole the other 5,068 water rights from the Nevada people. You may also find it interesting that the grazing rights in Nevada are deeded with the stock water rights. So destroying my father's water was killing 2 birds with 1 stone in the eyes of our so-called federal government. Now we have come full circle. AB408 was drafted to restore the resource rights back to the people and prevent these grievous actions from happening again. So why would Jim Wheeler, Robin Titus, and our very own Representative Chris Edwards, District 19, fight against this? I hope it is out of ignorance. I hope it is simply because they are disconnected with what is really happening in the state of Nevada and in the West. I hope they just simply do not realize how the people of this state are suffering. After being up in Carson City, our state capital, for much longer than I wanted, and after experiencing what I did, I am left to wonder. I would like to personally thank the over 14,300 acting supporters of this bill, and for all those who came up by bus or in their own vehicles to come to the hearing and support. I also want to thank the hundreds of thousands of people that have been keeping an eye on my family. We are extremely grateful, and we know and appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you.